Humanism is a philosophical and ethical stance that emphasizes the value and agency of human beings, individually and collectively, while rejecting supernatural and religious explanations for the human condition. Rooted in the traditions of Renaissance humanism and Enlightenment thought, humanism focuses on reason, ethics, and justice, advocating for human flourishing through the use of reason, science, and empathy, without reliance on belief in deities or the supernatural. Humanism is diverse, with several interpretations and strands, but it typically encompasses the following key principles. Core principles of humanism: emphasis on human dignity and worth. 1. Humanism places great importance on the intrinsic value and dignity of human beings. 1. It asserts that humans, as rational and self-aware creatures, have the capacity to lead meaningful, fulfilling lives and to shape their own destinies. 2. This concept is often expressed through the idea that humans are capable of solving problems and achieving progress without the need for divine intervention. Rationalism and reason. 1. Humanism values reason as the best tool for understanding the world and making ethical decisions. 1. Rather than relying on supernatural explanations, humanists emphasize empirical evidence, critical thinking, and scientific inquiry. 2. The commitment to rationality leads humanists to support secularism, the separation of church and state, and the use of science and technology to solve human problems. Ethics and morality. 1. Humanism advocates for ethical behavior based on reason, empathy, and the well-being of others. 1. Humanists believe that moral values can be derived from human experiences and the social contract, rather than from religious doctrines or divine commandments. 2. This often includes principles like justice, compassion, equality, and human rights. 2. Humanists strive for a society where individuals are treated with fairness, respect, and dignity. Secularism. 1. Humanism is inherently secular, meaning it advocates for a separation between religious institutions and the state. 1. It does not require religious belief, and it encourages public policies and laws to be based on reason, evidence, and shared human values, rather than religious doctrines. 2. While humanism does not oppose religion outright, it believes that ethical and moral decisions should be based on human reason and empirical understanding, not religious authority. Human potential and flourishing. 1. Humanism places a high value on the potential of human beings to live happy, meaningful, and productive lives. 1. It encourages individuals to pursue personal growth, creativity, knowledge, and fulfillment. 2. This includes the pursuit of education, self-improvement, and the development of emotional intelligence and social awareness. Human rights and social justice. 1. Humanism supports the protection and promotion of human rights, advocating for equality, freedom, and justice for all people, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, religion, or social status. 2. Humanists are often active in advocating for social justice causes such as the fight for racial and gender equality, LGBTQ+ rights, environmental protection, and economic fairness. A naturalistic view of the universe. 1. Humanism adopts a naturalistic worldview, meaning it believes that the universe and everything in it can be understood through natural laws, without invoking supernatural or mystical explanations. 1. The idea is that the cosmos operates according to physical laws, and human beings can understand and influence their world through science and reason. Different strands of humanism. Secular humanism. 1. Secular humanism is the most prominent form of humanism today. 1. It is explicitly non-religious and advocates for a life grounded in reason, ethics, and justice without reference to the supernatural. 2. Secular humanism emphasizes the importance of human rights, democratic governance, and a society based on evidence and rational decision-making. 2. Organizations like the American Humanist Association and the International Humanist and Ethical Union are key proponents of secular humanism. Religious humanism. 1. Religious humanism combines elements of humanism with religious values, but it does not rely on the supernatural. 1. Religious humanists may participate in religious communities or rituals, but their focus is on human experience, ethical living, and the potential for human flourishing, rather than belief in a divine being or an afterlife. 2. This strand of humanism often exists in liberal religious communities, such as Unitarian Universalism or some progressive Christian congregations, where humanist ethics are integrated with spiritual practices. Transhumanism. 1. Transhumanism is a more futuristic strand of humanism that focuses on the use of technology and science to enhance human physical and mental capabilities, with the aim of improving the human condition. 2. Transhumanists advocate for advancements such as biotechnology, artificial intelligence, and genetic engineering to overcome natural limitations, aging, and disease. 2. The goal is to use technology to maximize human potential and ensure a better quality of life for future generations. Cultural humanism. 1. Cultural humanism emphasizes the importance of human culture, art, and intellectual achievement. 1. It values the contributions of human beings in the realms of philosophy, literature, the arts, and the sciences, advocating for the preservation and development of culture and knowledge. 2. Cultural humanism often overlaps with humanist education, which seeks to promote critical thinking, creativity, and the appreciation of human accomplishments in the arts and sciences. Humanism and the modern world. Humanism has played a significant role in shaping modern values, particularly in areas such as human rights, social justice, democracy, and scientific progress. The Enlightenment, which was heavily influenced by humanist principles, laid the foundation for many modern ideas, including 1. Democracy and human rights. The humanist belief in human dignity and equality has contributed to movements advocating for universal human rights, gender equality, racial justice, and LGBTQ+ rights. 2. Science and technology. Humanism's emphasis on reason and empirical evidence has helped to fuel scientific inquiry and technological progress, with humanists advocating for evidence-based policies in healthcare, environmental conservation, and education. 3. Ethics in a secular age. As the world becomes more diverse and less religiously homogeneous, humanism provides a framework for moral decision-making based on reason, shared values, and the needs of society, without relying on religious or dogmatic principles. Humanism and its critics. While humanism has had a profound influence on Western thought, it has also faced criticism from various quarters. Religious critics. 1. Many religious individuals or groups see humanism as a threat to traditional religious beliefs and values. 1. They argue that without belief in God or the supernatural, humanism lacks a foundation for objective morality and ethical behavior. 2. Some also believe that humanism's emphasis on human autonomy and reason leads to a form of moral relativism, where any action can be justified by individual reasoning, which can potentially undermine social cohesion. Philosophical critics. 1. Some critics of humanism argue that it is overly optimistic about human nature. 1. Philosophers like Friedrich Nietzsche critiqued humanism for elevating human potential to an unrealistic level, while others, like Jean-Paul Sartre, questioned whether humanism adequately addresses the complexities and existential despair of human existence. 2. Critics have also pointed out that humanism, particularly in its secular form, may not adequately address questions of meaning and purpose in a universe without divine significance. Political critics. 1. Some political ideologies criticize humanism for being too individualistic or for promoting liberal values that may be seen as incompatible with conservative or traditionalist views. 1. Humanism's emphasis on human rights, social justice, and equality can conflict with certain political and cultural ideologies. Humanism in practice. Activism and advocacy. Humanism often manifests in public life through activism and advocacy. Prominent organizations and movements that champion humanist ideals include 1. Humanist International. Advocates for secularism, human rights, and the promotion of humanist values worldwide. 2. The American Humanist Association, AHA, supports humanist principles in areas like social justice, environmentalism, secularism, and the promotion of science and reason. 3. The Secular Coalition for America works to advocate for the separation of church and state and for policies that promote secularism in government. Humanism also informs the work of many social movements, including efforts to combat climate change, advocate for racial and gender equality, and promote LGBTQ+ rights. Humanists are active in human rights efforts, supporting freedom of speech, freedom of belief, and the protection of vulnerable populations around the world. Conclusion. Humanism is a rich and evolving philosophy that places human beings at the center of moral and ethical consideration, emphasizing reason, science, justice, and the pursuit of human flourishing. It offers a positive and secular alternative to traditional religious frameworks, advocating for a life based on human dignity, autonomy, and the potential for collective well-being. Despite facing criticism, humanism remains a vital part of modern thought, shaping our views on ethics, governance, and the future of humanity.